Hello and welcome to the Racing Gambit presented by USAWager.com. We're back here for second day running looking at the Breeders' Cup action taking place on Saturday. I'm excited. Ace, how excited are you about Saturday's races?
I'm not very excited at all, in all honesty. I'm kidding. How could you not be excited? The Breeders' Cup is finally here.
Yeah, it's going to be such a special day of action on Saturday. So we will kickstart by looking at the featured race of the whole meet, the Breeders' Cup Classic. Obviously a grade one, over 1.25 miles with a $6 million purse. The Roll of Honours of past winners of this race include American Pharaoh, Zenyatta, Curlin, Bayern, Authentic won it last year. We've got a very clear favourite at the top of the betting for this in Nick's Go. Ace, how do you rate his chances?
I don't like Nick's Go in this race. I do not like the favorite. He's never gone 1.25 miles. I don't think he's ever faced a field like this, in all honesty. I look at who he's beaten. Independence Hall, yeah, they got a nice win last out. Silver State, solid horse, but not a great horse. I do not think Nick's Go wins this race. I can understand why they're favored. They're older horses. They're an older horse going against a lot of younger horses, but I just don't see it. But Joel Rosario and Brad Cox are going to win several of these Breeders' Cup races. It's just not going to be this one, in my opinion.
Yeah, I am totally with you. I think the distance is the biggest issue, isn't it? Because for a favourite, you'd expect there'd be to be no questions really. So you'd expect almost like a surefire. It's got every tick next to it, and with Nick's Go, it just doesn't. And then you got the favourites in this race, which have a 27% strike record. And I mean, I like one of the 3-year-olds. Ace, how did you land on this one?
I've gone back and forth on this a million times, and I am going to go with Hot Rod Charlie.
Oh my God.
I think Hot Rod Charlie is finally coming into their own. Second to Essential Quality in the Belmont, going 1.5 miles. Third in the Kentucky Derby by 1 length. They won the Haskell. Yeah, they were disqualified. Then they won the Pennsylvania Derby. I think this horse is coming around. I like that they're working this horse out over 6 and 7 furlongs, getting him ready for the extra distance. I think Flavian Pratt wins it in his backyard of Del Mar. And it breaks my heart to say it because Essential Quality is my king. He bows to no one. But I just think it is Hot Rod Charlie's time, and he's coming into form.
I must be honest, nothing would make me happier than Hot Rod Charlie winning this, because I feel like I've been on the bandwagon for him for the last 12 months. Obviously, he came up short, didn't he, in the juvenile, so it'd be quite nice in that sense with the story between the two. It's kind of been a long running rivalry between him and Essential Quality, and he's always kind of come up short. Or when we had the Kentucky Derby, he obviously came ahead of him, but still didn't get the win. So it would be kind of nice to see Hot Rod Charlie win this, but I still land on Essential Quality because all he does is win. He doesn't have to be flash. He just gets his nose over the line first every single time. He's a 4-time Grade 1 winner. I'm amazed he's not favourite for this, because there is no question that the distance is an issue. The ground's not going to be an issue. There's just not many question marks with him, and I just don't know for the life of me why he's still 3-1.
It's really just because Nick's Go can go. They're going to go out of the gate. If no one goes with Nick's Go, it's going to be hard to catch them. But you don't know if they can get 1.25 miles. It's as simple as that. Nick's Go has had a disappointing race this year. 2 disappointing races, but we'll forget the Saudi Cup because shipping over there, you never know how your horse is going to really show up and perform, right? But first time back in the States at Belmont, the Metropolitan, they got the lead and they just faded. Silver State, by my standards, and Mischievous Alex passed them. I just don't see it for Nick's Go. It's hard to pick against Essential Quality, but I'm going contrary. I think Hot Rod Charlie wins this race.
I suppose the most interesting contender in here is Medina Spirit, who obviously has been hitting all the headlines for all the wrong reasons. But I thought he was really, really good in the Awesome Again, where he clocked a speed figure of 110, beating Express Train in Tripoli, who are both considered relatively good things for the Classic itself before that race. I just think he's going to be in the frame here. Like, as much as everyone doesn't want him to be, he's going to be there or thereabouts.
I'm really having a hard time with Medina Spirit because, to your point, right? It's not the horse's fault. Horse doesn't know all the drama going on. Horse just goes out there and runs. I was really hoping Medina Spirit would kind of like just fade into oblivion, right? And just like maybe just retire and just everyone forgets about him. It was an impressive win in the Awesome Again. It was an impressive win in the Shared Belief. Preakness, you can give him a break because, I mean, the Preakness was what, two weeks after the Kentucky Derby? And we can't say that he can't get the distance because he went a mile and a quarter. He already did it. I just, for horse racing's sake, I really hope he doesn't win. He can come in second, he can come in third. For horse racing's sake, I really don't want him to come in first.
Do you think, though, if you took the Baffert side kind of away from it, we'd probably be talking about the possible winner of the Classic?
I just don't think so because I hear what you're saying. They're beating Stiletto Boy, they're beating Express Train, they're beating some other horses. They haven't run against Essential Quality. They haven't run against Hot Rod Charlie. And I think those are two better 3-year-olds. In all honesty, right? I think, yes, Del Mar will favor early speed, but I don't think he gets the lead. I think Nick's Go goes to the lead. And then you got all these horses right behind him, Essential Quality, Hot Rod Charlie. And if he falters for 1 second, I feel like there's going to be a stampede of horses passing him.
Yeah. I think Medina Spirits is going to hit the board, but I think it will be behind the other 2 3-year-olds. I think it'll probably be Essential Quality first, and then you'll have Hot Rod Charlie second. But as much as it hurts you to say that Hot Rod Charlie's going to win, I would be very happy to see him win it.
Yeah, I'm sticking with it. I just am. I think there's going to be a minor upset, and what frustrates me is the fact that Hot Rod Charlie's 4-1. I feel like this horse should be 6-1, maybe 8-1. You know, like the fact that like everyone else also recognizes that this horse is coming in really well makes me feel like, yeah, to your point, Essential Quality might go off as the favorite, and Hot Rod Charlie might be the second favorite. It just might be that way when it comes to post time. Yeah, I'm sticking with Hot Rod. I'm just going to do it.
So you're going Hot Rod Charlie, and I will be sticking with the King. Essential Quality is going to get the job done.
Understandable.
Next up, we've got the Breeders' Cup Turf, which is a Grade 1 over 1.5 miles on the turf with a $4 million purse. See, when you have all that kind of complex thinking go through your head for the Classic, I kind of have this with the turf because I like both Godolphin runners here. And I feel like it's so hard to turn my back on your beer because I've been there from the start.
I hear you. I understand. This race is impossible. So just FYI, United is out. Domestic spending is out. Which means, guess who gets into the field? Our favorite, Bolshoi Ballet. Ain't no Brian Ryan Moore. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. I'm going with a bomb here. I'm going with someone who just like. I think this race is completely wide open, and I'm going to go out on a stretch and say that the other Aiton O'Brien with La Franchi de Torre, Broom, 20-1 morning line, 11th in his last race, second in the race before that. I think there's going to be a bomb here, and I'm taking Frankie and Aiden with that bomb.
Yeah, I will get to my bomb in a minute because I've also got one for kind of each way players. But I think Yubia probably wins this. I really hope that he does from the Jockey Club Derby, because we both spoke about that race afterwards and just the way he kind of tore the field apart down the final stretch. It was kind of a thing of beauty to see him just turn it on and then he was gone.
I don't disagree with you. I know you love this horse. I'm glad that we're both not on the favorite Tarnawa. 9-5. No, thank you. He's won one race all year. How's he the favorite? What has he won? Nothing.
I think they're kind of reading too much into probably his seconds. So he was beaten by Mark Basilica, wasn't he? Who was considered the best horse on the turf in the Irish Champion Stakes. And then it was the Arc with the German Shock. But I think the most concerning thing about the German one was, in the horse's mind, he thought he had won it before the line actually came.
Yeah.
And you could tell by the shock on the jockey's face who was riding Tanawa that he just didn't expect to be challenged. He thought like he'd ran the perfect race. And like if he does the same again here, he will get done on the line again by someone else that is going to be much higher in the market, or somebody like a Yabir who does come very late.
Yeah, I'm fading the favorite. I don't think I'm going to take a horse that's probably going to be under 10-1 in this race. I mean, Rock Emperor won a grade 1 last out. He's on the rail. He's going to be a little closer to the pace for Chad Brown. 15-1. You know, you can't trust the French, but Tribute Haven, another Chad Brown, Jose Ortiz, the 5, 20-1. I'm going bombs here. I am not taking a favorite to save myself.
Yeah, it's interesting you say about 10-1 because we briefly mentioned before about the disparity in the odds between in America and over here. So your beer is 8-1 over here, and then 12-1 on the money line over there. So my bomb in here is 20-1 on the money line in America, but 50-1 here. Astronaut won a very, very competitive Del Mar handicap last time, which means he's got good course experience around here. Beat United in there, beat a Climate, which was a good response after losing to a Climate in the San Juan Campistriano. And it's either been first or second in the last 6 and won twice in that kind of space of time. It's especially with the European or offshore bookies over there. So a lot of them are going to be offering you up to 5 places in this race if you put on an each way bet. So I think Astronaut at 50-1 is an absolute no-brainer. I put a bit of money on it last night at 50-1. It's not going to go off at 50-1.
No, but you know what? Like, yeah, I'm not looking at a favorite at all in this race. And like I always say, watch, there's going to be the French horse that wins at 8-1, or Tiona from Ireland, who we haven't talked about, David Egan, you know, just winning at 5-1, and everyone going, okay, I guess. So I guess I could have saw it, but yeah, I'm just going on a hunch. I'm just going to play a long shot here, and I'm going to go Groom with Frankie Dettori for the sweep.
I must be honest, I am pretty disappointed Tiona's going in here because I really, really like Tiona. You know about my love for her. Yeah. Like I really liked her for the Arc. She was so good on Arc Trials Week when she beat Snow 4. I would have been all over her in the Philia Mare Turf, but not in this.
No, I agree with you. Yeah, stepping up here, not looking great.
No, so I'll be going Yubia on top, and I'll be taking that Astronaut on an each way price. Where you landing?
I'm landing on Broom, Frankie Dettori, Aiden O'Brien. Bad form coming in. Somehow this plane ride's going to correct everything.
So next up, we move on to the girls for the Breeders' Cup Distaff. A grade 1, over 1 and 1 out miles on the dirt with a $2 million purse. Listen, we've been singing the praises of Malathat for the best part of this whole season. And I think she is massive. She's so far overlooked in this contest. It's unbelievable.
I don't disagree with you that she's been overlooked. You understand why, though, because Latruska has been such a special horse. Just absolutely. I mean, Latruska's beaten everyone. Dunbar Road, Bonnie South, Royal Flag, Antoinette, She Dares the Devil, Monomoy Girl, Swiss Skydiver. She's beaten them all. She's beaten all the older good 3-year-olds, 4-year-old champions, right? Malatat is a special horse. She's the queen of 3-year-olds. She's run first or second every race of her career. And she buries Claire, she buries Army Wife, Search Results, she buries these horses. I have been wavering all week because I do very much think Latruska's a special horse who just that last race, that last quarter of a mile, just felt like they were maybe just a little tired. I'm going to take Malatat. I think you're going to take Malatat. We very much like the fact that she's gotten more rest. She ran last time in August when Latruska won a race in October 10th. Like, it's less than a month off for Latruska. I like Malatat a lot. I think you do too.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I could not sing her praises anymore. I'm amazed that she's 5-1 for this. Obviously she's 6 from 7, and we're very quick to forget about the coaching club because it was such a short field. Shocks happen. It happened that day. She came back since then. Yeah, she came back. She came back after that. She won the Alabama, which is again another Grade 1. She's won 3 Grade 1s. So she's not like a novice coming into this. Like, she is she's a potential superstar at the moment. If she wins this, then she is a superstar.
I don't disagree with you. So I'm just going to throw this out here for an underneath play, for an across the board play. My buddy Tommy, Northern Ireland, gave this shout out yesterday, and he just goes, "Why is Frankie Dettori on an Argentinian horse shipping in who hasn't lost all year?" Listen, I don't believe in Argentinian horses. I don't. But what is Frankie Dettori is not going to just get on a horse to get on a horse. You know what I mean? He doesn't need that kind of stuff in his life. A 30-1 morning line. I'm not saying they're going to win. Not saying that. But I'm saying, if there was to be some big upset, I think I like Frankie Dettori to pull it off. But we are not experts in Argentinian racing. I'm just saying, cross the board play maybe. Play show. Throwing it out
there. That's the thing, isn't it? You never know, because this Argentinian horse could come over and just be amazing. We don't know. And if Frankie Dettori is trusting it enough, he obviously knows something about this horse to get on it on the dirt as well.
Yeah. It's nothing makes sense, and when nothing makes sense, sometimes it all comes together. Underneath play.
I think it's interesting. I'm with you there. Yeah, but I still think Malatat wins it.
I'm with you. Malatat all the way.
So next up, we got the Breeders' Cup Mile, which is obviously over a mile. It's a Grade 1 with a $2 million purse. Obviously, Order Australia was a huge winner of this 12 months ago, around 75-1. Obviously, it's not back to return and defend its crown because it pulled out a couple of weeks ago. I think Palace Pier coming out of this has proper opened it up. Like, Space Blues is going to go our favourite. And I mean, Space Blues is a beautiful horse. If it was a beauty pageant, she'd win this hands down. But unfortunately, when you get down to business, I think there's probably better value in here.
I agree with you. I do like Master of the Seas, the one with Jamie Doyle. I think they've been in poor form, but I think they can turn around here. I also very much like Smooth Like Straight, Umberto Rispoli. I really hope he gets one with 5 wins or seconds at Del Mar in 5 tries. It's like you said, Space Blues is going to be tough. I think I am going to land on Space Blues. Charlie Appleby, William Buick. It seems like they've really turned it on their last two races. I'm sorry, did they race like 5 days ago? I'm very confused.
No, I don't think so. They would have been traveling.
Exactly, right? Like my program. Oh, October the 3rd, not 30th. Oh my gosh, yes. Space Blues, yeah, is the winner for me. They seem to be able to close into anything, and if there isn't a hot pace, that's the only thing. If there isn't a hot pace, I really do like Smooth Like Straight just on the front end. Like if speed is gonna hold, you never know, especially in just a mile, right, where you can get someone to finally just run those last five, little lengths there, stretch them out. But I'm landing on Space Blues.
Yeah, I still quite like Master of the Seas. I can kind of forget about the recent form. She was obviously second in the 2000 Guineas behind Poetic Flare. There's also evidence that she does travel well as well because she was second in the Maiden Classic.
Yeah.
I'm also kind of disappointed because I know we're getting tight for time now with like the first and second reserves. I really liked Real Appeal, but I feel like time is probably running out for Real Appeal to get into this. We've been stung by the German bred horses before, and around I think it's 14-1, 15-1. I just think there's a chance there. She's won two from three in Ireland at Leopardstown earlier in the year, including the graded race as well. But yeah, the time's probably running out on her getting into this because there must be a deadline coming up at some point.
No, I agree with you. Odds are someone is going to scratch and they're probably going to get in, right? And you always look at those all also entries or also eligibles, right, to get in. I just think, yeah, I think heavier side. I do like the favorite, and I do think that there's going to be some prices on some American horses that you might like, but I think the Euro takes this one down.
Yeah, see, the American one that I do like is Smooth Like Straight. I just think he is so consistent. I think it's so hard to knock his form. He has a really, really good record at Del Mar. Obviously been second in the Del Mar Mile, the Eddie Road, the Hollywood Derby. If you're looking at it from a form point of view, on this track, Smooth Like Straight will win this pretty easily.
Well,
And I mean, at like, what odds we got? I got 16-1 over here, which I think is huge.
yeah, 12-1 over here, and yeah, they lose to Mo Forza a lot. They lost back to Mo Forza, Flavian Pratt, Peter Miller. Listen, Mo Forza is a very nice horse with Flavian. I wouldn't be surprised if they win this race either, Flavian's backyard. But I think in the races like this, you got to go for a little more of a price if you're not playing the favorite.
Yeah, so you're going to land on Space Blues.
Yeah, I am.
And I'll be going with, if Real Appeal's in, I'll be taking Real Appeal. If not, I'll be taking a chance on Smooth Like Straight.
Okay, nice.
Next up, we got the Breeders' Cup Philia Mare Turf. It's a grade 1 for the fillies and mares that are 3 and older with a distance of 1 1/8 miles with a purse of $2 million. I mean, I wouldn't say sleepless nights, but I think this is a pretty difficult one to read. Where do you land on this one, Ice?
I agree with you. I'm sticking to my guns. I'm sticking to my racehorse. I'm sticking with going to Vegas. The 12-1 Umberto Rispoli. I know it's a mile and 3/8. I know that there's going to be. Here's how I see this race. I see Umberto going out to the lead. I don't see anyone going with him. In all honesty, I don't see anyone who's just going to go up and challenge him. I think he slows his pace down, and I honestly think everyone's going to be coming and trying to close from the clouds, but they're going to be way too far off of it. I like going to Vegas at 12-1. Umberto Rispoli, the rail speed, just go and see if you can hold on in the end.
Yeah, he does have some good Del Mar form as well, doesn't he? Going to Vegas.
Yeah,
Obviously won
2 places, 2 shows, and 7 races. So 6 of 7 of the month.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult to take that on, really. But I'm gonna stick with Love. Like I just am. I saw an interview with Aidan O'Brien earlier in the week when he was asked about Love's chances, and like there was a kind of a glint in his eye that he thinks something big is coming from her, and I think this could easily be her last race because I feel like she might be retired after this. He did say something interesting though, because I think we read too much into her second at the cover last time when she was back in with the girls. And he said that was one of the best ones she's actually produced because she was carrying so much weight compared to the eventual winner, which was Le Petit Coco.
Le Petit Coco.
And obviously it's been a major step up for this season in with the boys. With the Juddmonte when she was beaten by Mishriff, she was beat by the Derby winner Adair in the King George. But I think back in with the girls in Grade 1 company on a level playing field, I just think Love she should be too classy for this field, I think.
Everyone's in love with Love. I don't blame them. Another horse, like our American version of that, like Warlike Goddess, just to the outside, 7-2. I do not like Julien Leparoux as a jockey. I do not like Bill Mott as a trainer. This horse has won 4 in a row. Grade 3, Grade 3, Grade 2, Grade 1. This horse knows when to turn it on. They're 3 for 3 at this unique distance. And they're going to be a lot closer. They're going to get first jump. Love and some others are going to be further back. It's hard for me to say Warlike Goddess isn't going to finish in the money. I just see it as kind of a strung out race where going to Vegas hangs on. Warlike Goddess is there, and then someone tries to close for third.
Yeah. So you're going to stick with going to Vegas in the mile? Pretty meta, sorry. And I'll be sticking with Love, I think. I just think there's one last big show.
Understandable.
Next up, then we've got the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint. It's another Grade 1 with $1 million purse. So no favourite has won this since Misdirection in 2013. Is Golden Pal a good thing to end that run?
I think so. This is another race where you look at the field and you go, well, I guess the favorite's really good. I guess we can take him and move on. Yeah, he was disappointing at York, but Wesley Ward, Irad Ortiz Jr., I'm not there to question how good this horse is. If I was looking at more of a price, I'd look just to its outside and Lieutenant Dan with Giovanni Franco, who's 2 for 2 at Del Mar. But I do think Golden Pal, shipping in from the East Coast, is the best horse for this race. If you get 7-2, that's not bad. It's not bad at all, right? So I'm going to stick with Golden Pal and put Lieutenant Dan right behind him.
Yeah, I quite like Lieutenant Dan's chances here. I think his form coming into this is pretty good. He's won on all 3 starts. Obviously, Del Mar experience is there, winning there twice. Obviously, did win at Santa Anita as well on the way into this in the Eddie D. I just think he's so proven in Stakes Company, and his price has come down drastically. So I've got written down here, which on my notes, which I wrote a couple of weeks ago. It was 20-1 at the time. Is now 6-1 on the money line.
Yeah, 6-1.
Which, I mean, someone as well as me is seeing things here because I think he's got a really good chance here.
I hear you. It's my second choice. I do think Golden Pal is special, and I'm not sure if anyone can run with them, but we shall see, right? We shall see. There's some really fast horses in this race.
Yeah, it's going to be a good race, that is for sure. You've also got Emiratiana in here. He was a massive price when he came in second in the Nunthorpe. I don't think she's going to be nearly that high coming into this. Should be Starman, who was saw by many as a pretty good thing for this a couple of months ago in the Betfair Sprint Cup Stakes. She's had a bit of a random season, but it just wouldn't surprise me if it ran like a pretty big race here. But I'm not sure if that's good enough to win
Yeah.
or just come second.
No, I'm with you, and I had to ask about these connections because I don't really know these connections well, but you see Godolphin at the top, and you go, okay, they know what they're doing. Like, there's no questions there, right? So I agree with you. Maybe an underneath play, across the board play, but I think I like the two to the outside a little more, Golden Pal and Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah. And so where are you going with that one then? You go in Golden Pal, Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah, I'm gonna line on Golden Pal for sure.
Yeah, and I'm going to stick with Lieutenant Dan. I mean, I'm happy I got the bigger price. Next up, we got the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile, which is a grade 1, over a mile with $1 million purse. Nick Sco won this last year, and obviously he's going in the Classic on Saturday. I'm sure there's a horse in here which would have been hoping to win in the Classic, but eventually just ended here. And I think we both probably are going to agree he looks like a very good thing to win this.
Yeah, I think we can literally cover this for about 30 seconds. Life is Good is going to win this race. Life is Good is 4 to 5 morning line. Life is Good is going to be down to 2 to 5, 3 to 5. If this horse didn't get injured, they probably are the Kentucky Derby favorite. They might win the Kentucky Derby with their early speed. But since coming back from injury, a neck loss to Jackie's Warrior, how terrible. And then just a breakout win in the Kelso by 5.5. I don't think anyone can touch this horse if they tried.
No, I'm totally with you. I think Life is Good is an absolute. I think they might as well let him run the race by himself, because no one is going to come anywhere near him. I mean, you can't even make a case for many in here that are going to even come. It's just a race for second. That's all you're looking at.
Yeah, and I don't even like a price for second. I like Ginobili, who's 4 to 1. I like Silver State, who's 7 to 2. There's no point. There's no point in betting those underneath. I think it's a walk in the park for Life is Good.
Yeah, just stick Life is Good on the parlays and just be done with it.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
Well, less said about that one, the better. Then we both agree. Life is Good is going to make sure Life is Good for all the punters on Saturday.
That's right.
Next up, you got the Breeders' Cup Sprint. Once again, a grade 1 over the 6 furlongs with a $2 million purse. I kind of get the feeling this is kind of between the two at the top of the betting.
So this is the Jackie's Warrior race?
Yeah, Jackie's Warrior versus Dr. Cheville.
Yeah. If Jackie's Warrior doesn't win, I'll be shocked. But at the same time, the only one that can touch her is Dr. Chevelle. It's a 2-horse race. You got Flavian on Dr. Chevelle, the newcomer, raced 5 times to Jackie's 10. Jackie's going to be really short on price, but at the same time, it's hard to pick against him. So I'm going to stick with Jackie's Warrior, and then it's going to be 2-9 all day exactor with Dr. Chevelle behind.
Yeah, I'm probably going to flip that because I quite like Dr. Chevelle. I think just his Del Mar form, 3 from 3 this season, won the Bing Crosby, won the Santa Anita Sprint Championship. I think the Del Mar form is the thing that kind of pushes me towards him, and I think the winning the Del Mar Futurity as well. It's just the Del Mar form and then the price as well. It would have been interesting to see if Bella Sophia would have ran in here instead of the race we're going to talk about next, because I think she could have been a very interesting contender in here, just the way the race would have shaped up compared to just the 1-horse race, which we're going to talk about afterwards.
Yeah, I honestly think Dr. Chevelle goes off at like 2 to 1. So if you get him at 4 to 1 now and you like him, bet it. So I think they're going to go down in price. I think Jackie's Warrior is going to be 1 to 1. Dr. Chevelle is going to be 2 to 1, and then everyone else is going to be much bigger odds. So I don't blame you going where you're going, but at the same time, until somebody buries Jackie, I'm picking him.
Well, it's going to happen on Saturday. At the moment, I got 5 to 1, Dr. Chevelle.
Ooh,
which I think is very tasty. That. So you're sticking with Jackie's Warrior, and I'll be
for sure, yeah.
Yeah, and I'll be taking Dr. Chevelle. So last, but certainly by no means last, at least, but it's been a long show. We got the Breeders' Cup Philia Mare Sprint, which is a grade 1 over 7 furlongs with a $1 million purse. Ace is, I'm going to guess you're going to be going with Gamine in this because I don't think anyone else is going to come anywhere near her.
Gamine is the free square in the bingo parlays of life. Yeah, everyone talks about Bella Sophia challenging her. I don't see it. I just don't see it. I don't see an upset here. I think Gamine can run at 85% and beat these ladies. No offense. I really do. Like 3 to 5 morning line in a Breeders' Cup race. When do you ever see that? You never see it. It's because this horse is the best. They haven't lost since the Kentucky Oaks last year. They won this Breeders' Cup event, and then they've won every race that they've raced in. Take it and move on to free square in your parlay.
Yeah, I think Gamine is she is just a superstar, isn't she? And
really
I mean, we're going to try and like limit the amount of Baffert winners here on Saturday and Friday, but this one looks like a given, really.
It really is a given, and you know what? It's hard to argue. Like you can say whatever you want about Baffert. This horse is just really good. They're just really, really good, especially in their class. No one can touch this horse.
No. I think Bella Sophia is probably going to come second, but it's going to be a very distant second. I would have been more interested in her if she was in the sprint itself, because I think there could have been an opportunity for her to get involved. But this one is it's an open and shut case.
Yeah, take the victory, move on, get your trophy, be happy.
Yeah, so we're both on Gamine for the last race.
1,000,000%.
Yeah, so that's all 9 races then, Ace. So what would be your best bet, or what would be your kind of the guaranteed winner aside from Life is Good and Gamine?
I think, and if you can find fixed odds, you take Gamine, you take Life is Good, and you take Jackie's Warrior. You parlay that together. Otherwise, take some bombs and some turf races. If there's going to be bombs, it's going to be in the turf races. It's not going to be in the dirt races. And then the horse I feel best about really showing up well is going to Vegas. I call me crazy, but 12-1, 10-1, Lone Speed. I think they hang on and get a piece, if not win.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I think you've won me round with going to Vegas.
How many times have you watched an American turf race where someone just falls asleep on the lead, right? And everyone is 5 to 10 lengths behind, and then it's like the last second they're like, oh, there's a race going on. We need to close into this horse. But nobody pressured him the entire time, and he just kind of just stumbles home. I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
And I think my best bet, I'm going to stick with you, BR, in the turf. Speaking of really, really good closers, I think it's going to suit her down to the ground how this race is probably going to plan out, really. And I think she's just going to get there. And I mean, if you could bet on Tanawa not to win, I think that might also be a decent bet.
I'm with you. Yeah, just not betting Tarnawa is what I plan on doing also.
Yeah, so that just about rounds up our Breeders' Cup preview show for Saturday. We hope you have a really good time watching it, and hopefully we've pointed you in the right direction for a couple of winners as well. Enjoy the Breeders' Cup. We're back next week for the next Racing Gambit show. Thank you for joining us, and don't forget to subscribe and like the Sports 2.0 network. Thank you. Goodbye.